Lena, what have you done? Look what Lena's done. Look at this post. Arch. Done. It's out. Thanks to that horse right there. She says, me? Yeah, you. And you're a good horse. And he doesn't break posts. Actually, nope, not true. There's a busted post over there. Now, Momo, she's a good horse. She hasn't broken any posts. But she has busted one of her lines. Horses are very, very, destructive. Thanks, Lena. Give me a job to do. Look at the sky today, though. This evening is really quite nice. Not raining like this morning. This morning was pretty soggy. Just finished feeding, noticing a Gracie, and Rhodey's kind of worried as well. Not coming over here, so I'm wondering what they're seeing or smelling. Now it's raining and hasn't rained in a little while, so there's a lot of sounds. Nothing they're not used to overall. But to be honest, I love the sound of the rain in the forest anyways. This has turned out really well. Let's take a look. Nothing close by. But there's also a side of it where if I come out here and sort of take a look around and then I come back in good shape, then maybe the both of them will relax just a little bit. I'm not running back, I'm not worried. It's funny, I do hear something. But it could very well be just the rain. Anyways, first rain in a good month or so at least. We've been praying for rain. Finally got it. And it's really been coming down in buckets for the last day or two. It's supposed to stop tomorrow, so it's going to be back to being summer weather, nice and warm and all that kind of business. So I don't think so. But it really wouldn't surprise me if there's any bears or anything. Oh, they're eating now. See, so I think that there's something to be said for, you watch your horse's reactions and then just say, well, I'm here. It's all good. And they're eating. So, continue on with the day's activities. A little bit of rain. It's still quite warm out. So, anyhow, just a little horsey check for you guys to give you an idea of sort of the day-to-days, things that happen. Just would never know. I don't really take a camera out for this stuff. Here we go. Hello, Momo. And here we are, evening feeding time. The beautiful sunset, sun on its way down. Little tiny horses just waiting for their hay bag to be put up. And there we go. But I thought I would talk a little bit about pedagogy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that word. I hadn't heard that word till probably about a year ago when I was given a very high compliment by Martine here on this channel. So she really enjoyed the pedagogy of what I do with horses. Now I actually didn't understand what she meant and I had to look it up. And definition of pedagogy is essentially a way that something is taught and the activities done to teach that thing and the thought process behind it. Essentially everything that it has to do with teaching a thing, a way of teaching, everything about it. And that is pedagogy. Hello, Eddie. And Lena, the post breaker. You guys are next for feeding. I got 2 hay bags here ready to go. There you go, Annie. Now, amusingly, just a few months later, somebody else used the word pedagogy with me, but it was in person, and I was lucky enough to have that comment previous, and I remember this because it really stuck with me. I thought, oh, I'm sure glad I learned that word in the comment section before meeting somebody in person who used that word with me. But it turns out it's not that unusual of a word. It just isn't used so much in conversation. But the idea of how to teach a thing. And this has really come into play recently as my daughter and I are learning how to rock climb. And I'm not brand new, but relatively new to it. And we've been able to enjoy some new teachers. Being a beginner at something means that you have to change your brain to where you kind of live your life knowing a lot of stuff to where you know nothing, and you have to pick up what somebody's saying. And the coolest part of it is you get to kind of analyze and look at how somebody teaches. There's my boy Luke. His pedagogy is amazing. He's been a fantastic teacher. Right, buddy? You're the best. There you go, pal. All done. So when it comes to picking up somebody else's pedagogy, you tend to kind of look at yourself a little bit and say, well, where am I at? How do I do things? Do I like what they're doing? How can I maybe borrow some of that or not? Or what can I maybe apply to my own way of learning compared to how they teach? That kind of stuff really comes to mind. And we've recently come across a teacher online that has a great pedagogy in how to climb up a wall, how to put your feet, how to move your hands. And it just astounded me at what experience brings to the table. Again, for like the millionth time that I've sort of picked this up. Of course it does. When it comes to teaching something and the variability of the lesson that can be applied. You know, a very well-experienced and well-rounded teacher gives a very well-experienced and well-rounded lesson that can apply not just for now, but for long term. Sort of like teaching the thing that teaches the thing that teaches the thing. Over we go to little Yoka. Hello, little Yoka. You're looking very good today. There you go. You're all set up. Moving on. Now, the other thing that has brought this to my mind is recent set of lessons I've been giving. And the student has a teacher that teaches a pedagogy that is 100% not in line with the way I think about working with horses and the activities that I want to be able to do, which is kind of a bit of a driver for some of the recent training videos about how to work with horses and how to think about working with horses. I gotta get these guys fed. Hello, Roni. Ready for some dinner? It looks like Gracie is doing her circles. Hello, Gracie. You're okay. And Roni, a quick head pat for you too. Later, buddy. So the pedagogy being taught that is almost direct opposite of the things that I do is much more of a mean-spirited and unkind and in some cases abusive sort of hit your horse for as long as it doesn't do what you want it to do. And one of the most common statements that come back is, my horse is getting away with something. And that just doesn't fit in my pedagogy of horsemanship. It doesn't fit at all because I don't think that horses get away with things. And if we stop thinking about the fact that horses don't get away with things, or they don't try to get away with something, they just do something compared to the things that you do. If you were to get a horse to do something, you didn't get away with getting them to do it. You just convinced them that doing a thing was a good idea. And so it's never going to be about getting away with something. It seems to be sort of the root of a lot of other behaviors that humans have that aren't kind to horses. And it just made me rethink this idea of pedagogy. What is pedagogy? And how does it apply, and how should we be thinking about it in horsemanship? And relearning something, going back to being a beginner, is a fantastic way to look at the things that you do now that apply to people that you might be teaching. You might be a parent, you might be a big brother, a big sister, you might be somebody who is just guiding somebody in their life. And I think it's really important to consider, what is the pedagogy and how kind is it? How forward-looking is it? How positive is it? How good do you feel about using it? And that's what I'm attracted to when I learn stuff. So anyhow, thought I'd bring that up. It's kind of an important one. That's it for tonight. It's starting to cloud over a little bit more. Still beautiful though. So that's it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next one.